Hello, I am Matthew from Monash University, and in this video presentation, I'll be talking about the Harvard Business Publishing online simulation task of finance simulation, merger and acquisition in one country for the BFF 999 Financial Institutions and Society subject. In this merger and acquisition, one country simulation task, we are given three players in the one industry competing against each other. There will be Starshine Vineyards, SS, International Beverage, IB, and Belvino Corporation, known as BV. For this M&A, I have been selected as Belvino's corporation CEO and have been given the task to either merge with Starshine or get acquired by International Beverage. Here are some general information or company introduction of Belvino. BV is a publicly traded high-end California winery credited with having put California on the map as a world-class wine producer. BV is well known for its classic vintages and strong brands, including the highly coveted Uva del Sol brand. Next, we will be discussing about the issues and concerns of BV and how to overcome these problems. First concerns the annual revenues of BV. Starting with Starshine, they have an approximately over $25 million annual revenue per annum, which is steadily increasing. International Beverage has a very good history of their annual revenues, which is growing at an average rate of 10% per annum. While other companies don't have any issues regarding this sector, BV's annual sales of approximately over $370 million have lagged behind its competitors. Second problem is BV's inability to secure satisfactory relationships with international distributors, which causes less than 10% of revenues generated abroad. With an increased competition in the US channels, the company had difficulty growing revenues in line with analysts' expectations. Some other problems of distributions were identified as well. National distributors in the United States had begun squeezing out regional players with whom Belvino had strong historical relationships. BV also forced itself to compete with small and mid-sized vintners for attention from distributors. BV also resisted spending on consumer advertising as they found it wasteful since its wines were sold mostly in a limited number of targeted regions. BV is also known to be coping with conflict in senior management ranks, large comprising family members who are descendants of the Bruno Morelli, legendary founder of BV. It seems that Uva del Sol is undervalued in the Wall Street market despite its prestige and reliable sales. The Morelli family still owns 24% of BV's shares and wants long-term protection of the company's prestigious brands, which needs patient investment, while others believe that the company should limit investment in the premium business and instead leverage the Belvino name by aggressively entering the larger mid-range lifestyle wine segment. Despite all of BV's negative, they also have advantages to offset these issues. Wall Street analysts were quick to praise BV's CFO and his efforts of instilling financial discipline in the firm. This allows the firm to properly maintain costs, and BV were among the lowest in the wine industry. BV managers were very strong in negotiating favorable contracts and managing overall production costs, resulting in lower COGS to competitors, and finally, SG&A costs are given careful attention to make them one of the most reliably profitable producers in the industry. Next, I'll be talking about the strategic planning process that BV will implement. The first plan is to improve BV's financial and operating results permanently by reducing days of inventory by 30 days, reducing days of accounts receivable by 15, and increasing accounts payable by 15 days as well. These improvements are to try and trim working capital, which are hoping to be achieved over the next 2 years. Second plan is to negotiate an agreement with international wine distributors, a large international distributor, to try and increase BV's international sales by $10 to $20 million per year, and further reduction of $2 to $4 million per year in SG&A associated with the consolidation of some of the company's warehouses and a savings of $2.5 million in COGS. Finally, the options for my company is to either merge with Starshine by offering an all-equity finance mergers of equal exchange shares, or getting acquired by IB, where IB would offer us cash for each existing share. After further negotiations and bidding, I've decided to get acquired by IB since it gave me the best offer that still profits my company, even though the initial plan was to merge with Starshine. Starshine failed to accept my biddings and instead gave me bids that doesn't generate value towards my company. Details of negotiations and bidding will be available in the upcoming report. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy my presentation.
Created using Powtoon.